Hey Faye friends, welcome back to my channel, my lifestyle channel. Thank y'all so much for the support so far. So I wanted to do a takedown. I did a Rodset last night and it was not dry, but I was not sleeping on the rollers. So I took majority of the rollers out and left 3 in the front, and I'm praying that they feel dry. So while I am taking my hair down and separating, I wanted to do a little get to know me video. If you are new here, I have been in the YouTube world for about 4 years. I have another channel where I do like faith-based teaching and also just sharing my journey. So if you're interested in that, you will see the link to where my ministry page is, and that is just Shanika Marie. If you type it in, I'll come up. But this is my lifestyle page, and so I've been wanting to do more relaxed lifestyle content. So yeah, why not do a get to know me while I'm taking down my hair. One thing I absolutely love is hair. I think hair has been one of my favorite things since I was a little girl. Me and my sister, we went to get our hair done like literally every 2 weeks. We were at the salon, and so that was always my favorite time. I absolutely love changing my hair. I just took down my birthday hair yesterday, and so I decided to do a Rodset just to give my hair a little bit of TLC, because that was technically kind of like a protective style. So I wanted to give my hair a little TLC, so I deep conditioned it and just washed her and did all the things. So I ended up deciding to do a Rodset. And so yeah, that's one thing about me. I absolutely love hair. I love changing my hair. I love experimenting with my hair. My hair has always been really thick, and so my mom was like, you going to the salon, because I ain't got time to be messing with it. And so I remember like in middle school or whatever, I learned how to like straighten my hair and like, use the flat iron and stuff. Like, you can tell me nothing, okay? Nothing. So hair is one of like my favorite things, and I guess you can say it is a hobby of mine. So my name is Shanika Marie, and I am 33 years old. I just turned 33 January the 7th. I am a January baby, and so yeah, I just had a birthday, and I'm just feeling so good about 33. Like, I don't know, I feel so good, and I'm really excited for this year. What else? I got a little paper because I took some little notes about what I wanted to talk about. I am a country girl, so I am from a small county in Virginia called Brunswick County. And so grew up a country girl. Let me give you a little bit of my testimony. So a little bit of my testimony, how do I want to say this? So I didn't grow up in when I was with my mom and stuff, we didn't like go to church and all the things. But when I was with my grandparents, they always took me to church. And so faith has always been in my life, but I didn't start taking my faith seriously until I became an adult. But I'm so grateful that I had that foundation. 2 years were like really hard for me. Like, I went through a lot and I was experiencing a lot, and I didn't know how to communicate that, y'all. So I was the problem one. I was always getting in trouble, always fighting, like, leave me alone, basically. So, and now that I think about that, like, when I tell people that part of my testimony, they're always like, who? You? Like, you're the sweetest person. And you know why? Because the Lord came into my life. The Holy Spirit on the inside of me cleaned all of that gunk out. But it was definitely a process. I definitely had anger issues. I remember, always trying to fight like other people's battles too. Like, if you had a problem with my friend, you had a problem with me, because you ain't gonna be bullying my friend, okay? But so always getting in trouble. Like, it was bad. It was bad. But when I graduated high school, I remember everybody like, oh, they were going to college. I was like, I ain't going to college. I really didn't like school like that. I literally did enough to get by, just to get out of there, because I always knew that I wanted to be a model, or I wanted to do something on TV. That was always my goal, and I was going to figure out how to do that. So college was not on my mind. But being that, you grow up in a small town, we really didn't have like a lot of opportunities. So my aunt, which is my dad's sister, she allowed me to come and stay with her. And I started going to a community college here in Richmond. And y'all, God is so good because I did not graduate. I hated school so much. Like, hated it, hated it, hated it. I was just going and just taking like some classes just to try to figure out stuff. But yeah, y'all, it wasn't for me. But God is so good because He allowed me to meet someone who became my best friend. And her family, oh, y'all, I love them. And Miss Karen, if you're watching this, Tiana, all my girls, Jade and Kayla, if y'all are watching this, I love y'all so much. T, love you so much. Like, we we were in the same class and we ended up getting the same snack, like a Dr. Pepper and some, I call them nabs, but they're crackers. And we ended up bonding over that. But she invited me to a Wednesday night service at her church, and that really changed my life. And so ended up going to, the church, going to that service, and I really learned about what it was to have a relationship with the Lord. And y'all, I was still messing up, still bored, dealing with like being bored crazy and stuff, like just not really focused, still messing up, right? But the Lord, I started getting convicted, right? I started saying like, hey, I don't think the Lord wants me to live like this. And so I messed up a lot, but that was just a seed that the Lord planted. Like, putting my friend there and her inviting me to service, that was like the start of my journey. And then so I was going to the church and going every Sunday, getting involved in the youth ministry. I ended up going through a what was it, a little program to where you learn more about the church, and they taught you like the history, of the Bible and stuff. I really went, like kind of like a mentorship thing. And so I kind of graduated out of that, just trying to figure out where should I be serving, basically. But that was really the foundation. I'm so thankful for Christian Life Church. It's now called Lifeco, but I'm so grateful for Christian Life Church because they really taught me like so much. And I know that all of that was God's hand on my life. And so I'll never forget, in 2018, I decided to rededicate my life because I had went through a really bad breakup, and I knew the Lord was saying separate from Him. And it was so tough, but I knew that I had to do it. And so I remember breaking up with him, and I was just so sad. But I decided to rededicate my life, and it was just like when I got back in that water, I don't know, y'all, I was changed. And I was like, you know what? I am going to do this for real. And not saying that I did it perfectly, because I still was messing up, still was sinning, still doing all the things. But, the Lord's hand, as I said again, the Lord's hand was on my life. And so, shortly after that, I started hosting like a little Bible study at my apartment. Like, I ended up, during this time, I was like living by myself. I had my own apartment, and I ended up, hosting small groups through my church. And I would have a lot of the young adults, like the young preteens and stuff. They would come over to my house, and I would just have a little snacks, and we would just talk about the Bible. We would read a little Bible plan together. But I love that season so much, and I miss that so much. I miss my girls. I hope they're so good. They're doing good. I hope they may be watching this. I know I follow a lot of them on like Instagram and stuff. I like to keep up with their lives. But so it started off with little small Bible studies, right? And then I felt this urge to write. And so I ended up starting a blog, and it was called Faithful 20s. And that is how I started writing. And y'all, even that, but I can say this too, I can see the Lord's hand in this writing journey because I was a really good writer in school. I hated everything else, but you tell me to write a paper, or you tell me to write a prompt or something, I was gonna do that. So definitely noticed a writing gift in school. So I started a blog. It was called Faithful 20, and it was all about learning all about me sharing my journey of being faithful to God in my 20s, because for a long time I felt like only older people were, really serious about their relationship with the Lord. I didn't really see a lot of people my age. And so I felt this calling to write about it and to tell people like how I was transforming my life. And so I started that blog. I think it might have been 2015, 2016, I think. It was 2018. So I got saved, I got saved for real. And I ended up getting rebaptized. And then I started the blog. So that was 2018. Yeah. So that's how I started my writing journey. And then y'all, when was it? 2019. Was it 2019? 2019. Oh, might have been later 2018. Like when I really gave my serious yes, that's when stuff starting, y'all. A lot of people found my channel from my testimony video about God told me to quit my job. And if you haven't watched that, y'all, it's just a testimony in itself. I won't even go too much into it, but y'all, I was really a young 20-something out here with no job, trusting God by faith because he told me to quit, right? And in the midst of that, I was dealing with really bad health issues. I have been dealing with ulcerative colitis for years. Like around that time is when I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. And then shortly after that, like I started having really bad, painful like cycles. And so I've just been on this journey of trying to figure out why. And so I've had surgery for fibroids. I also have endometriosis. So it has been a journey with my health, but God has just been so faithful. And I know that he has graced me for this journey, y'all. So it's like a daily just getting up and just trying to figure out, kind of what's going on and doing what I can while I am just trusting God, right? So yeah, that's a little bit about my journey. I didn't go into too many details because y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot. I really believe that I'm going to write a book one day just to talk about like all the things I have experienced and stuff. But all I can say is God's hand has been on my life, and my quote or statement that I live by is how you start is not how you have to finish. That's kind of like my life quote that I live by. So yeah, what else I have? I want to tell y'all a little bit about my hobbies, even though I feel like I'm still trying to discover what my hobbies are. Well, one thing I know, and I haven't done it in a little bit, and I'm definitely going within the next month, I'm planning to I'm gonna pick up my niece and we gonna go. But skating, I absolutely love to skate, roller skate. I ain't never rollerbladed or nothing. But I do know how to roller skate, and roller skating was something that I grew up doing. And I absolutely fell in love with it, and now doing it as an adult, like being able to go to the skating rink anytime I want, I love that. It's a class here in Richmond where I live that I have been wanting to look into so that I can learn some little tricks and stuff. Like that's on my list for 2026 is to learn how to skate a little bit better. And also I want to skate backwards. I want to do the tricks. I want to do like all the things. I'm a DIY girly. Doing my own hair. I don't always do my own hair, but I have been doing it a lot recently. So doing my own hair. I do like I have got my nails done in the past, but I've been really into press on them. I actually put these on after I do my hair. But just really into DIY stuff, like doing my own hair, doing my own nails, do little lash clusters, doing my own lashes and stuff. So I guess you can say like beauty stuff is a hobby for me. I would like to discover some new hobbies. I really want to learn how to sew, do some crochet or something. I would love to do that. And I've always been like interested in like the piano and stuff too. I would love to learn how to play the piano and the drums too. Like if somebody can teach me how to do that, I would love that. I be hiding this tattoo, y'all. Let me tell you a little fun fact about this tattoo. I got this tattoo, and back then it was this thing of having your name on you. Like everybody got tattoos with their name on them. I don't know why I even thought to do that. Something I'm doing this year, I'm getting a tattoo removal. This is coming off of me. Yes, I've been wanting to do it for years, and I saw a spot in Richmond. I said, okay, I need to go and get me a quote. But I got this tattoo when I was suspended from school. Y'all, I was suspended from school for fighting. And so supposed to be at home doing nothing. While my mom was at work, y'all, I was at a tattoo party, getting a tattoo, child. Like, whoo, the things that I did, but God redeems. He redeems. And so every time I see it, I think about, you know, just my redemption story of what God has brought me through and the things that he has saved me from. Do you have a word for 2026? If you do, let me know in the comments what it is, and if you have a scripture to like go with it. My word for 2026 is it's so crazy. I had a whole nother word for 2026. Like the word I wanted it to be was build, and then the Lord told me like, no, Redeemer is my word. And he told me that I am going to see him as Redeemer in my life in 2026. So my word for the 2026 is redeem. And I am claiming, decreeing, and declaring, and I truly believe with all my heart that I'm going to see God as Redeemer this year. Redeemer in my health, in my marriage, in our house, in all areas of our lives. Me and my husband's life, we gonna see God as Redeemer. So I think that's all the little things that I had on here. If you would like for me to do a more detailed one, or if you would like for me to record like some certain content over here on this channel, please let me know. I know I am planning to do some behind the scenes of me modeling on the local news. I am a model here in Richmond, and I guess I could talk about that too. I have been modeling for, I think was that 2018 too, or 2017? I was actually scouted by my now friend. Her name is Soleil, and she scouted me on Facebook, and I was already thinking about, you know, joining it was a local fashion show here in Richmond called RVA Fashion Week, and she invited me, and so that was kind of like the start of my modeling journey. And so I have done runway, I have done print, I have done some commercial work, I have been in Virginia Bride magazine. Me and my husband did a style shoot, and we ended up getting published in that magazine, which was so cool because it was actually the magazine came out months after we actually got married, but we did the style shoot before our actual wedding. And fun fact, I think I talked about this on my other channel too. And if you want me to do a more detailed video, like telling y'all all the details, I definitely can. But me and my husband won a free wedding from an Instagram giveaway. Yes, you heard me. An Instagram giveaway. Girl, I'm talking about a wedding planner, the cake, photographer, videographer, the invitations, the decor stuff. Like, we had to pay for nothing, because that's how my God works. He's a redeemer, okay? As someone who never thought that she would be married because of just like the relationships and stuff that I experienced, like God did his big one with that one. Like, he did his big one. So we ended up winning a free wedding. It was in the midst of COVID, so we couldn't like invite a lot of people. I think our limit was like 50 people, which was so crazy, but it was so intimate, and it was just a beautiful day. And so a few months before that, we did a style shoot. And as far as like my wedding, I went for a more kind of modern bride look. So I did like this beautiful white slip dress, and so I did that for my actual wedding, but the Lord allowed me to get some pictures in this beautiful gown, right? And so we have like so many pictures and stuff from the style shoot and our actual wedding, and those are the pictures I actually have it up in my living room behind our couch. Just God is a redeemer, y'all. And so for me, like I said, I never really expected to be married. And then if I wanted to get married, I was just going to go to like the courthouse, because I just was never into like, you know, big extravagant weddings. That's just not me. But the Lord is so kind, and he knew I ain't had no money. We ain't had no money to be paying for no dresses and stuff. So we had to, make it work out, right? But he allowed me to still get the pictures of my dreams in this beautiful gown, like, y'all, and it was just amazing. So amazing. Just God's favor, y'all. I can't call it nothing else but God's favor. So yeah, that's a little fun fact. Won a free wedding. Me and my husband run a free wedding, and y'all, so many testimonies, like so many testimonies. But yeah, let me know what you guys would like to see over here. If you want me to do a certain video or record around a certain topic, please let me know. I've been yapping. I ain't even took these front ones down. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you have a word for 2026, or what do you believe in the Lord for in 2026. I love when one thing about me, I believe in writing the vision and making it plain. And that way, when God does the thing, like, you can come back and say, you know what, Lord, I've been trusting you for. It's a place for you to come back and be like, you know what? I said he was going to do it, and he did it, right? So yeah, answer those questions. I'm going to pick out, I got to run to the store, so I ain't want to pick it out too much. I am going out a little bit later, so I'll wait. One thing about me, I'm going to make a hairstyle last, and I ain't going to be doing too much too soon, so we're going to leave it like this. I'm going to pick it out a little bit later. So yeah, well, thank y'all so much for hanging with me and watching this video. I appreciate you all. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe to both of my channels. Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my ministry channel, where I share encouragement and just what God is doing in and through my life. So thank you so much for the support. This Rodset came out so good, and y'all, I only used one product. This mousse right here, this is the Gangster Rap Mousse by The Dew. Love this mousse. Thank you so much for watching, and thank y'all so much for the support. See y'all in the next video. Peace.